This conference will now be recorded.
Observers, first session I discussed about what is Java. In that one, I concluded 3 points. Java is distributed application. Distributed application software. 1 point. One more point I given. Java is high level object oriented programming language. Third point I concluded, Java is a API document. API document we concluded. Last session, first session, very fundamental thing. What is that software, types of software, everything I concluded. The recordings are there. If you joined anyone newly joined, I will forward those records and everything to you. Next, I wanted to concentrate. Last session, last day I discussed about how to how to write and execute basic Java programming, very fundamental Java programming, writing and execution of basic Java programming. Last session I discussed how to write and execute basic C++ Java program execution procedure. Now I wanted to concentrate, sir. We are going to discuss who not you are unable to go through this one. We'll discuss about this again once we started programming point of view. But before going to starting the Java, you are asking, interviewers are going to be asking. So you are going to saying that n number of different application softwares are there. N number of different application softwares are there, sir. Why you preferring Java? Let me ask the question. Sir, n number of different Java, n number of different distributed application software. Our softwares are there, sir. In those one, why we prefer the Java? Why Java? Or what is the importance of Java? Why Java? Or what is the importance of Java? Or they may ask you, what is the characteristics of Java? Why Java? Or what is the importance of Java? Or what is the characteristics of Java? They may ask you. So what is the answer I want to future? They may ask the question, what is the futures of Java, or importance of Java, or characteristics of Java? What is the answer I wanted to conclude for this one? Java supported several number of features. Java supported several number of features. What are the important features? What are the important features are going to be supported by Java? Now I wanted to concentrate. Characteristics they may ask you, features they may ask you, or importance they may ask you. What is the conclusion I wanted to give? Now I wanted to give to got it. What is a conclusion I wanted to give? I wanted to concentrate it once. Try to see once. I will give the entire notes to you. So first session I discussed about what is the software, what is the types of software, how Java is come to existence. Today I plan to discuss about this. What is the importance of Java? We wanted to concentrate this one. What is the characteristics or importance or futures of Java? I wanted to concentrate one by one. First, I wanted to concentrate Java is simple. I wanted to concentrate the thing is Java is simple. All futures I wanted to discuss one by one. First, I wanted to concentrate n number of futures are there with Java. I wanted to conclude with first characteristic. Java is simple. Java is simple. N number of futures are there. I am concluding this one. Java is simple. Hold for a moment. Now, I wanted to concentrate on first one. Java is simple. When I ask the question, why Java? First point I wanted to say, Java is simple. Sir, you are going to saying the simple, sir. We are not agreeing, sir. What is the reasons you are going to say Java is simple? First point, because of Java is simple because of Java having simple syntax rules. Java having simple syntax rules. What is this simple syntax. You have some knowledge about. You have some knowledge about. Once you have some knowledge already, some programming language knowledge is there with you. Suppose you concentrate on this C language or C++. C language or C++. Just you concentrate very fundamental thing. I wanted to concentrate some knowledge about if condition, if syntax. C language based we working if syntax, if condition. What is the syntax we applied? If condition. If condition. If condition is true, the related statement or statements are executed. In that one, if condition is failed, else statements are executed. Condition is true, the related statements are executed. Condition is failed, else block is going to be executed. In C language, there is a syntax we apply. In C language, the syntax is applied. Same type of syntax we applied with C++. Condition syntax we applied with C language, same syntax. C++ wise, same syntax. If I am working with Java, different syntax, complex. But observe here, you wanted to work that with Java. So same type of syntax. Almost Java syntaxes are very simple because you have some knowledge about C, C++. Same type of syntax, simple syntaxes. Whatever the syntax you already applied with C, same type of syntax we applied with C++. If you Java side applying the different syntax, complex. But Java side you applying the same syntax. What we conclude? Simple because of simple syntax rules. So what is this? How we can conclude Java is simple syntax rules? Because Java syntaxes are almost similar to C, C++. Almost similar to C, C++. Different syntax. Suppose first class you studied in English medium, second class you studied in English medium, third class I said learn Germany. Is it possible? Third class I said please learn Germany, complex. But now, so your continues C syntaxes continue to C++. C syntaxes are continued to C++. Whatever the C++ syntaxes are continued with Java. Almost same type of syntax rules. Java syntaxes are simple. That's why I'm saying Java is simple. Because of simple syntax rules. Apart from that one, not only this point, I wanted to concentrate one more point. I am saying learning of Java, easy to learn. Easy to learn. Learning of Java is very easy. Learning of Java is very easy. Sir, how can you conclude learning of Java is very easy? Because of n number of built-in methods, n number of existing methods, n number of existing methods are available. Due to that reason, I am going to say Java learning is very easy. Learning of Java is very easy because of Java content. Suppose you have some knowledge about data structures. You have some knowledge about data structures. Who is there in the online? Someone respond me. One person respond me. Amar, can you respond for me? Amar, unmute and respond for me. Anyone? One person, Karthik. Is there with online mode? Respond for me.
Yes, sir.
All right. Karthik, you studied C language? Karthik or Amar, who is right? Are you studied C language?
Yes, sir.
Are you perfect with C language?
Not much more, sir.
Not much more. Are you studied data structures?
Yes, sir.
But how much perfectionality is there with data structures? So data structure programming is very, very complex, sir. We have to write huge code, sir. We have to write the huge code, sir. We have to go through with 2 pages, 3 pages lines of code. Complex to us, sir. Working with Java, no. You wanted to work with stack programming. Wanted to work with stack programming in C or C++. Working with either C or C++. Stack programming you wanted to make 2 pages code. 2 pages code you have to write. Push method, pop method, peek method, search method, easy empty method, like several functionalities written by you. Several functionalities written by you. When you're writing the whole code by you, complex. When you're writing whole code by you, complex. But now what we doing? We are not interested to write the whole code. We are not interested to write the whole code. What we are expecting, instead of writing the whole code, just existing logics are Java side already existing logics are there. If you're working with the C language, you have to write the code. But Java contains already stack class is there. No need to write the code. Just utilization of code. Observe, when you installing the Java, as I said, API document by default, when you installing the Java by default, without your interaction, n number of, observe, when you installing the Java only, this much number of built-in classes, around 4,000 plus built-in classes. Already available classes are come to existence. If is it mandatory to write any code by you? Java people already written the code. What you have to do? Utilize the. You have to write the code by you complex. But what you are doing? You are not writing the code by you, utilizing the code. That's why learning is easy. Learning of Java is very easy because of it contains n number of built-in methods. No need to write any method logic. By you. Are you getting my screen clearly? Visibility of my screen?
Yeah, there is little bit lag.
Okay. That is a network issue.
Yes, sir. There is some network issue.
Try to observe. Still it's showing. So there is a screen is showing to you. Observe once. Now I wanted to concentrate. First point I concentrate simple because of simple syntax rules. Easy to learn because of no need to write much code. Much code is not there. That's why I'm saying Java is simple. Apart from that one, I wanted to concentrate one more point also. Complicated things. Complicated things like pointers. And multiple inheritance. Complicated things like pointers and multiple inheritance not supported. Previous programming point of view, there is some complexity. Complicated things are there, like pointers. Pointer is a variable which holds the address of another variable. So there, while we working with pointers, there is a possibility for confusion. Avoiding that one, these things, whatever the previous programming issues are there, those are not supported by Java. That's why I'm going to say simple. I'm concluding Java is simple because of simple syntax rules. One point. Next point, learning is easy because of n number of built-in methods. One more point also. Complicated things are not going to be supported. Due to that reason, I am going to saying as a because of simple syntax rules, because of simple learning is easy, complication part is removed from previous program. That's the one point I concluded. Now I wanted to concentrate not only this reason, n number of reasons. First reason is simple. Apart from simplicity, second one I wanted to concentrate very important feature, that is very important feature, that is platform independence. Platform independency I wanted to concentrate. Platform independence. What is this platform independency I wanted to concentrate? While we working with C language, already some knowledge about C language. Now I wanted to concentrate on what is a platform dependency, platform independence. Try to observe once. Trying to making computer 1. 3 computers I am going to taking. Computer 2, computer 1, computer 2, computer 3. 3 computers I am going to take. In these 3 computers, every system having hardware part is there with me, software part is there. Hardware part is there as well as software part is there. In this hardware part, try to observe here. System 1 belongs to me. System 2 belongs to Karthik. System 3 belongs to Anil. Understand? Some numbers. System 1 belongs to me. System 2 belongs to Karthik. System 3 belongs to Anil. Is there some n number of persons? Now, I wanted to concentrate what is a hardware part of my computer. What is a hardware part of my computer? In my computer, I am using 4 GB RAM. 4 GB RAM, i3 processor. 4 GB RAM I am using, i3 processor I am using. Just check your properties, your computer properties. Based on your computer properties, you get the hardware. Try to see my hardware. I am using 4 GB RAM with my computer. 4 i3 processor. i3 processor with 500 GB HDD hard disk drive. 500 GB hard disk drive I am going to make. This is my hardware. Apart from my hardware, I wanted to concentrate on my operating system. Windows is my operating system. Windows 7 is my operating system. There is no restriction. Windows family. Next, Karthik, can you give your system configuration? Unmute and
Yeah, what you're having the same configuration for me also. 4 GB i3 and 500 GB hard disk.
Understand something. 4 GB RAM is maintaining i5 processor, 500 GB HDD. 500 GB HDD, but is installed Windows 10 family of Windows, either Windows 7 or Windows 8.1 or Windows 10, any version. Next, one more person who is there. Anil is there. Understand? Anil hardware configuration. Anil hardware configuration. I wanted to concentrate this hardware configuration. Anil is going to be taking how much GB RAM? Is maintaining 8 GB RAM. 8 GB RAM is maintaining. 4 i3 processor is going to be maintaining. Next is maintaining 1 terabyte HDD. 1 TB HDD. Next is maintaining flavor of Linux. Flavor of Linux operating system. Both of you maintaining system 1 and system 2 maintaining the Windows operating system, but system 3 is maintaining the Linux operating system. Yesterday you seen execution point of view. I showed you one small thing. Try to observe. While we executing C++ programming, which file is generated? OBJ file. Which file is generated? OBJ file. While we working with Java side, which file is generated? Dart class file is generated. They may ask one interview point of question. What is the difference between OBJ file and Dart class file? What is the difference between OBJ file and Dart class file? C one, and then you can easily give the answer for me. See this one. Try to give the answer for me. While we working with C language, OBJ file is created. While we working with Java said dot class file is created. Try to observe. Suppose I created one C program. After that one, I generated one. I created the C program, generated one OBJ file. My system. Who is making its copy? Karthik is going to be making my system copy. I created OBJ file. Karthik making its copy, as well as Anil also making its copy. Karthik is taking that OBJ file from my system and storing with his system. Also, Anil is also going to taking that file and storing with his file. After that one, dot obj file. Next, I written one Java code, generated its dot class file. Generated its dot class file. After generating the dot class file by me, both of these people are making its copy. Both of people are making its copy. So system 2 copying the dot class file, as well as system 3 making its copy. Try to observe where the execution is supported, where the execution is not supported. Try to concentrate on OBJ file. I created the object file. Karthik can execute this file. I created the object file. Karthik can execute this file. But who cannot execute? Anil cannot be supported. Your OBJ file execution is not supported. Windows to Windows. Observe here. It is not concentrating on. Concentrate. My system hardware is different. Karthik system hardware is different. Not depending on the hardware. It's depending on Windows operating system. OBJ file is executes. OBJ file is execute. Object file is execute based on different hardwares of system. Nothing but system independent. There is one technical terminology I wanted to give. OBJ file is object file is dot obj file is system independent. System independent. Nothing but works with different hardware supporting computers or machines. Works with different hardware. There is no issue. There is no issue related to hardware. OBJ file is system independent, but it is platform dependent. Is platform dependent. Nothing but works with same operating system only. Same operating system only. Required. You wanted to work with OBJ file, C language. I created, you wanted to work. So hardware point of view, no restriction, but what is mandatory? Operating system is mandatory. Operating system is common operating system is compulsory. It's required same operating system, then only execute. But now working with dot class files. See this diagram once. Dot class files. I am going to creating dot class file Java program. Karthik can access the Java program, as well as Anil also can access the Java. Karthik can access the Java program, as well as Anil also access this Java program. So, both. It's not depending on my hardware is different, Karthik hardware is different, as well as Anil hardware are different. It's not depending on the hardware, but also not depending on the operating system. Not depending on the hardware, also not depending on the operating system. Dot class file generated in Java programming Java programming, which is supports, which supports which one? System independency, system independence, also platform dependence, platform independent, system independent as well as platform independent, works with different operating systems also. Windows to Windows possible, Windows to Linux, Windows to Mac, any operating system is also possibility to execute. Different hardware based working also works with different operating system. There is no restriction on hardware part, there is no restriction on operating system. That's why we concluding what is that one? Java is system independent. Java is system independent as well as platform independent. Now I concluded both of them. System independent as well as platform independence also we have to come. System independence is there, platform independence is also there. That's the concept of platform independence. Now I wanted to concentrate one more very important thing. Java is secure. Java is secured concept I wanted to concentrate. Java is secured. How can we conclude? Java is secured. Now I wanted to concentrate. Simple. Till now I concluded. Java is simple. Java is platform independent. Now I wanted to concentrate on Java is secure. How it is supported the security mechanism. I wanted to concentrate. There is a two types of security. Two types of security mechanisms. One is data security. Another one is application security. Data security. Another one is application security. First, I wanted to concentrate on application security. For suppose, I created one Java application related to net banking. HDFC net banking, ICICI, most of financial domain applications. Most of financial domain applications are running based on Java. Suppose net banking services, ICICI net banking services I wanted to work, or HDFC net banking services I wanted to work, or any other services I wanted to work. What is the first page is to go through? Net banking you wanted to go through. Suppose I plan to go through with HDFC net banking I wanted to go through. Try to observe. You wanted to access the net banking services. What is mandatory? Compulsory. You must enter. You must enter username and password. When you enter the correct details only, application is going to next page. You must enter the username and password. If you enter the correct username and password only, it is goes to next page. If you not enter the correct details, whether application is continued, no chance to continue. So here secured, you wanted to access my application. It is mandatory to present username and password. Authentication. You wanted to work with my application, Java application. Authentication is mandatory. Authorized people only access my application. After that one, that is called as a authentication. Secure application. You wanted to access my application. Compulsory username and password is mandatory. After getting username and password, after entering the username and password, if you enter the correct one only, allowed. After entering the correct one, what you have to do? You have to access the application. When you log in as a customer, what you can do? View the data. When you log in as a customer, you can view the data. Can you modify the data? Possible to modify the data? No chance. There is no chance to modify the data. If you wanted to modify the data, must log in as a banker or employee. When you log in as a net banking services, you are going to using net banking services. You are going to using when you log in as a employee. Only log in as a customer. What is possible? Screen is not getting.
Getting, sir.
Getting that here. Going as a old screen only to me.
Now it's open that paint.
Paint is open. Okay, fine.
Yes.
Right. Suppose observe this net banking services point of view logic. I am applying one small case study. Who can access the net banking services? Customer can access, employee can access, as well as managers can also access. When you log in as a customer, what you can do viewing the data? Log in as a employee. So as a Karthik is login as a customer, his bank balance is showing as a 2,000. He plan to make it as a 20,000. 2,000 is his balance. He's planning to make it as a 20 crores. Is it possible by you? Can you modify your bank balance? No. Login as a customer, have to give some permissions. Login as a customer, what is the permission? Visibility permission. Only viewing. Login as a employee can view the data and modify the data. Login as a CEO can delete the details or something. Employees cannot, there is no chance to delete the records from employees. Who can delete the records? Loan records or something. As a CEO or high levels of bank employees only. Login as a customer, only customer properties. Login as a employee, customer as well as employee properties. Login as a CEO, all types of properties. Security purposes. Security point of view, that is called as authentication. Only authorized people only access the application. After accessing, based on their permissions only, whatever the functionality permissions are given, based on the permissions only, accessibility possible. That's why I concluded application security. So not only that reason, data security. Now, development is going to be working based on entire based architecture. Now development is running based on entire based architecture. Entire means multiple clients wanted to access single mission. Previously, olden days, one tier. One tier means everything is available with single computer. One tier, two tier. Next market now presently MVC based development, nothing but entire architecture based development. Entire architecture based development. Try to observe one tier working with a single computer. Single computer. Previously 1980s or 90s, you wanted to deposit in the bank, you must go to same bank account. Same bank. Where your bank account is there, you must go to the particular bank, particular counter only possible. One tier, standalone, individually. And that one, client software, server application, as well as database. Everything is there with a single mission. Everything is there with a single mission. One tier architecture. Single mission based support. Single mission based support. If you're working with one tier architecture, what is a disadvantage? If that computer is not working, entire data is missing. Why? Because we are maintaining a single copy. You wanted to access anything, you must go to your home branch. In the home branch, particular counter only accessible because data is available with that one. To overcome this problem, they introduced which technique? Two-tier architecture. In two-tier architecture, what they are going to doing observe. The two-tier architecture. One tier, everything is there with single computer. In two-tier, they are maintaining the centralized server. The server is accessible by multiple clients at a time. Client-server based communication. In this one, server side. Single server accessible by multiple clients. Server application as well as database copy. Server application as well as database copy. Observe once data security point. Previously, you mentioned the data that is available with your personal computer. Here only independently, the data is available only. Wanted to access, you must go to that bank, that counter only, that computer only you can access. But now, whatever you entering, storing with centralized server, storing with centralized server, storing with centralized server, accessibility possible from any, accessibility possible from anywhere. So here, no need to go over there and collect. So any counter, any branch you can go and access. But now, suddenly, this server is gone. Suddenly, the server is gone. What happens? Possibility for data loss. Possibility for data loss. One tier, if server is gone, this standalone machine is gone, data gone. Two tier, client lost, no problem. Client lost, no problem. From other client you can access. But server lost, possibility for data loss. To overcome this problem, to overcome this problem in real-time development, primarily they used one tier. After that one they introduced two tier, client server based communication purpose, two tier. Next, in development now we are using entire architecture. In entire architecture, what is the logic is going to be happening? They are maintaining one single server in server side that is accessible by multiple clients. Single server is accessible by multiple clients. Previously also same search, but they maintain only one database copy. But instead of maintaining one database copy, they are maintaining several database copies. Database 1, database 2, database 3, database n number of database copies. Single server is server. Server side, what is there? Server application. Server application. Previously, what is there? Server application is there, database is there. But previously, they maintain only one database copy. But now they are maintaining multiple database backup servers. DB3, DB3 is there, DB4 is there, right? N number of backup copies. N number of database backup copies. DB1, database 1 or DB, database copy. Another database copy. Another database copy. Multiple database copies they are going to maintain. Multiple database copies they are going to maintain. So n number of clients can access single server. Server contains server application. Server contains server application that is accessible by database copy. Suppose unexpectedly this copy is gone. What happened? Immediately connectivity established to another database server. Data is accessible from that server. So you are working with one tier, only one copy, that is gone, data missing. Two tier, only one copy, data missing. N tier, no data loss. Because N tier, there is no chance of data loss, fully secured because it supports multiple copies. One copy missing, immediately connectivity established to another server. Through that server, accessibility is going to be happening. This is the way we are going to using. That's why I concluded Java is secure. Which type of securities are supported? Application security. Application security with the help of authentication. If you wanted to access the application, compulsory login is mandatory. Without login, no chance to access the application. After login also, login as a customer, only visibility. Login as a employee. What is that one? Visibility as well as modification. Right? Based on the permissions only accessible. Authentication as well as data security. Not only this one, n number of reasons are several reasons. That's why I'm concluding Java is secure because of it's having the security with the help of authentication, auto cookie deletion, session X5, like several features are there. That's why I'm going to concluding Java is secure. Simple I concluded, secured I concluded, platform independency I concluded. Now I wanted to concentrate on Java is dynamic. Java is dynamic. How we can conclude Java is dynamic? Try to observe. How we can conclude Java is dynamic? Try to see one simple C coding. Very simple C coding I am going to write it. First line of code you know very well. Hash include stdio.h. Hash include stdio.h. Void main. Starting the program execution purpose main method. Int x is equals to 90. Simple code. Printf first double quotation welcome. Printf double quotation I am going to writing as a welcome. Closing. Simple code I written. Let me know what is the output of this program. Output of this program showing the output is welcome. Showing the output is welcome, but it raises one warning. It rises, output is generated, but raises one warning. What is the warning is going to be raised? X is assigned but never used. X is assigned but never used. When you writing this code in C language, when you compile this code, understand this is your hard disk drive. In this hard disk drive, some memory is allocated for X variables. You return this code and compiling. When you compiling this one, some memory X is a variable, 90 is a value, some address location 2030. Assume X is a variable, 90 is a value, 2030 is a address location. When you compile this one, you writing this program code. After writing, you compile. When you compile this program, internally this is a procedure is done. But execution time, are you utilizing the X variable? You declare the variable, initialize the variable. But are you utilizing that X variable? Even though you're not utilizing also, some memory is allocated. Even though you're not utilizing also, some memory is allocating. The memory is allocated some value, but whether we utilizing that memory, not utilized. Due to that reason, one warning is getting X is assigned the value but never used. But even though you're not using also, memory is allocated. That's why it's called as static memory allocation. C language supported static memory allocation. When you're working with static memory allocation, what is the disadvantage? Possibility for wastage. To overcome this problem, Java side, if you're writing the same code with Java, it does not allocate any memory. It does not allocate any memory at compile time. C language allocates memory at compile time. That's why it's called as a static memory allocation. Java supported memory allocation at runtime. Java supported memory allocation at runtime is known as dynamic memory allocation. Is known as dynamic runtime memory allocation. What is the advantage with dynamic memory? If you utilizing the X only, then only memory is allocated. There is no chance for wastage of memory. That's why we said Java is dynamic nature. So here I wanted to conclude remaining also. Java is dynamic nature. Similarly, it is also supported interpreter technique. Interpreter. There is a three types of translators are there. Compiler is there. Interpreter is there. Assembler is there. Interpreter. Line by line code check. Line by line code checking is going to be done. That's why it's called as a interpreter. Java supported compiler as well as interpreter. Total program code. Yesterday we seen this diagram. In this diagram you observe here. Supported compiler as well as interpreter also. Supported compiler. First whole program code is compiled. Whole program code is compiled. After compiling this one, internally one more step is going to be done, interpret. That's why we concluded Java supported compiler as well as interpreter also. Compiler at a time conversion, line by line conversion or line by line checking purpose, interpreter. Java supported both of them. Java supported both of them is going to be supported by Java. That's why we concluded Java supported compiler as well as interpreter also. Apart from that one, simple I concluded till now. Till now I concluded simple. I also concluded platform independent, dynamic runtime memory allocation, interpreter, nothing but interpreter, nothing but line by line manner of conversion. Portable application. Very, very important reason. Java is portable. What is meant by portable? Are you users USB drives? Are you users USB drives, pen drives? Yes or no? Someone respond.
Yes, sir.
It works with different operating systems, different hardware based supporting, different operating system based support, as well as different location based also support. Different location based also working. That's why it's called as portable. Plug and play. Wherever you wanted, you can use it. Java is also supported that type of logic. Java is also supported that type of logic with the help of, so here Java supported write once, run anywhere mechanism. So I am creating Java program with my mission. First with different hardware supporting missions, different operating system supporting missions, as well as different locations also. Different hardware supporting missions, different operating system supporting missions, as well as different locations also. That's why we said Java is a which type of logic is going to be supported? Portable, plug and play. Wherever you wanted, it is going to be supported. Similarly, one more thing we have to concentrate. Java is high performance. Nothing but compare with other programming languages, Java execution is fast. Execution is fast. Due to that reason, I am going to say Java is high performance. Simple we concluded, dynamic we concluded, dynamic runtime memory allocation. Simple, easy to learn. Simple is nothing but learning is easy. That's why I concluded simple. Runtime memory allocation, dynamic, no wastage of memory. Line by line cross-checking, interpreter. Write once, run anywhere mechanism, portability. Next, high performance. Execution speed is fast. Execution speed is very fast. That's why we concluded Java is high performance. One more thing we wanted to concentrate, Java is multi-threaded. Single process divided into several sub-processes. At a time, all sub-process execution is possible. That is called as a multi-threading nature. Sir, this is complex to understand, sir. Very, very simple. Very, very easiest example I will give you. Are you playing the PUBG game? Very, very important. I hope everybody know the PUBG game. That is works based on multi-threading concept. That is works based on multi-threading concept. Sir, how it is working based on multi-threading concept, sir? How it is working based on multi-threading concept, sir? Because of game is a single process. Game is a single process. That single process is divided into, game is a single process. That single process is divided into several sub processes. Single process is divided into several sub processes. At a time, all sub process execution supported. At a time, all sub process execution supported. So here, observe here. Try to concentrate. Game is a single process accessed by multiple players. Accessed by multiple players. single process divided into several sub-processes at a time. All sub-process execution support. PUBG game is played by single user or multiplayer, multiple players because of multi-threading concept. In real world, everything is based on multi-threading. If multi-threading is not there, no chance to access the website, no chance to access the net banking services at a time. Because previously, before threading concept, they introduced mutual locking mechanism. If you're working with mutual locking, at a time only one person can access. Its performance is very, very down. Overcome that one, they introduced multi-threading. We have to discuss a lot about multi-threading. We have to discuss lot about multi-threading concept in further. So how to work in real-time development, we have to discuss lot. Apart from that one, I wanted to concentrate architectural nature. Nothing but step-by-step manner of execution is called as a architectural nature. Distributed. Distributed is nothing but dividing the big application into several sub-pieces. At a time, all pieces execution supported, known as distributed nature. Observe once again, I will concluding the all ones. Java is simple. Java is simple because of simple syntax rules, easy to learn, complicated things are not there. Dynamic, nothing but Java memory allocation done at runtime. What is the advantage? Avoids the memory wastage problem. It cross-check the data line by line manner. Write once, run anywhere mechanism, which is known as portable. High performance execution is fast. Multi-threading, divided the single process into pieces at a time, all pieces execution supported. Platform independent, works with different hardware supporting as well as different operating systems also. Architectural nature, step-by-step manner of execution. Next, distributed, dividing into pieces, all execution supported at a time. Application security, data security. Robust, nothing but strong. Compare with all other programming languages. Compare with other programming languages, Java having several features. That's why it's called as a strong. Nothing but strong features are there. That's why we concluding Java is a robust. Apart from that one, very, very, very important feature is object oriented. So here we wanted to work with object orientation concept of Java. You wanted to start. You must know what is the OOPS concepts are supported by Java. Object oriented programming synopsis, which main motto is to read once, write once, utilize for multiple times. Writing the logic once, utilize that logic for multiple times. If you wanted to work with object orientation, we are going to discuss all these things in depth, around 10 to 12 sessions in depth regarding these things. The concepts of characteristics of OOPS is class is there, object is there, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, like several features we have to discuss about object orientation. Just today we concluded why Java. If they ask the question why Java, what you can conclude? Lot of things we can conclude. What is the things we can conclude? Simple, object oriented, secured. All these features we can discuss. Simple, dynamic, platform independent, security, like n number of features. Why Java? They may ask the question. Why Java? Or importance of Java? Or characteristics of Java? Or futures of Java? All together explanation. This is the way we are going to discuss. Till we discussed what is Java, why Java. Tomorrow onwards, I am going to start with full-fledged programming. Till now, very fundamental programming is started. Tomorrow onwards, I wanted to start the full-fledged programming with Java. Tomorrow, I will start with basic things. So, to build the big applications, build the big application, what are the basic things we require to work with Java. Tomorrow session I will going to conclude. Today we concluded what is the importance of Java. Today I am going to off. Tomorrow we are going to starting the programming. Till fundamental things are completed, tomorrow onwards programming is going to be started. I will show you logics based on IDE based also. Development we uses IDE. First 2-3 sessions I will going to discuss about programming based on Notepad. Then you get some syntactical idea. Then we'll start with the program based on IDE based. Is there any other queries? Karthik, can you
No, sir,
mute it?
just sir, just I have a question.
Yeah.
Just I didn't understand that interpreter, sir.
Interpreter is going to be doing line by line manner of conversion. Suppose you're writing 20 lines of code. You're writing 20 lines of code or 10 lines of code. This is the program you written. When you apply the compiler, whole program code is compiled and generated dot class file. Observe, I am creating this file, test, saving this file with the name of test already there, test.java. This is the code I written. After writing this code, observe this folder. This is a program I written. After writing the program, try to observe execution of this program. Execution purpose, one command, Java file name. There is a file name, test.java. Immediately when you compile this one, its dot class file is generated. Somebody opening this dot class file, what is the type of file we got? Dot class file. We not understand anything. So after that one, try to execute. After this one, try to execute it. I modified the file. After modification, try to execute this file. When we executing this file, Java test. Executing or not executing? Because of interpreter. Whatever the dot class file you generated, that is going to be cross checked by interpreter. In the interpretation, line by line manner check. Compiler at a time conversion. When I am typing the command, this command, compilation is done. It is converted at a time. So when running that one, that time interpreter is working. Running that one, interpreter is working. Observe once. Interpreter is working line by line. Whatever the dot class file generated, line by line, that dot class file is cross checked. Line by line, that class, first line cross checked, second line, third line, fourth line. Total program is cross checked by interpreter. So there is nothing problem. Their output is generated. So there is any issue. Previously you seen there is a problem. There is no chance to execute. When you got the problem, no chance to execute the file. If no problem is there, program is executed perfect. Once trying to executing command prompt, with command prompt, cd desktop location, cd online file, online class, Java C test. Compiler is applied. Next, when I am applying Java test, running the program, here interpreter started working. Cross check that bytecode file and generate the output. So this is a way. Interpreter. This time compiler is going to be working. Here compiler is working, cross-checking the syntactical errors, cross-checking the bytecode file by interpreter and generates the output. Any other? Okay. Today I am closing the session. Tomorrow as usual timing. Any other issues? Tomorrow I will show you how to install the Java, how to work with Java, everything I will going to show you. So how to start the programming point of view. Tomorrow onwards is going to be started. Thank you.